dalian ito. But because of my relationship with them, I gladly accepted this. So, I'd like to talk to you about vitamin C and its relation to infection. Just a word before I start. I'm not an expert on coronavirus because I'm sure it will come out. But I am an authority in research and in microbiology. But there are so many things we don't know about the virus right now. And if I can, I will, but just to let you know that I am not an expert on coronavirus. Alright, so when we talk about health these days, it's not just isolated and say, health na lang. It's always wellness because those are two different things. Health is wala kang sakit, di ba? But being healthy, wala kang sakit, doesn't mean you're well. Right? So when we talk about that right now, we talk about health and wellness, and there are a lot of hospitals now in St. Luke's putting up centers for health and wellness. Because you don't just treat the person for what he's suffering right now, at the moment, but you treat the person as a whole. So meron ng non-pharmacologic interventions, meron ng exercises, meron ng, of course, beauty. There are a lot of things that included. So we talk about health and wellness right now. Alright. So this is a diagram which I got from a biochemistry book. And this was because of nutrition. Alright. But what I want to show here is that nutrition and the person where the nutrition lies is in the middle of so many things right now. You talk about biological factors, psychological factors, and look at the biological factors. Meron ng genotype. And this is the area of molecular medicine. We can see diseases, we can see the person now, not only externally, but at the molecular level. Kaya nga, napakadaling mag-develop ng vaccine. They say there's a vaccine coming now for the virus that we are so concerned about, but hindi pa nila labas. Lahat yan, chismis pa lang. But, what I want to impress to you is that each person, tayo, we're different from each other. That's why you will respond to a certain disease or a certain intervention differently from the person next to you. And that is because of our genotype. What we're made of from inside. The gene, the molecules natin. And we can see that right now. The technology is so fast that we can do that right now. And then, of course, may tinatawag na outside the gene, which is called epigenetics. And those are the psychological factors, the environment. Lahat ito all play together, to play in concert, to affect that person. And the person or nutrition is the basis for the presence or absence of disease. Alright? So, when we talk of an individual right now, we talk of so many things. And all of those has to be addressed and not just treat the disease itself. Alright. However, because of the advancement in technology, because of the way we live right now, because of air travel, because of too much work, ito nangyayari sa atin. Mag-drive ka lang. I live in Alabang and my work is in Quezon City. I wake up at 4:30 a.m. just to do my things in the morning, prepare lectures, have breakfast, and I have to leave before 6 to beat the traffic along EDSA to reach St. Luke's before 7. And that in itself is a form of stress already. Mas grabe yung pag-uwi mo, right? When you go to your other appointments right now, you get stressed. You think of so many things. The cell phones you're holding right now are forms of stress. Right? So, lahat tayo, we are living in this environment, a very fast environment right now. That's why, hindi natin ma-avoid ito. So, ito nangyayari sa atin every day. Alright? Ngayon, what is stress formally defined? By Epictetus. Okay? People are disturbed not by a thing, but by their perception of a thing. So the cell phone in itself is not the stress. It is how we perceive, and it's how what we read in that, and how we interpret what's written in the cell phone that gives us the stress. Alright? And the American Stress Society tells us that the top causes of stress in the US are job pressure. Meron ba akong trabaho after this meeting? Kukunin pa kaya ako speaker ng Stada if I don't do well? Baka hindi na. Alright? Money! Yan ang pinakamalaking problema natin. Di ba? Health, relationships. Alright? Poor nutrition, media overload. Because of too much television, radio, internet, email, social network. That is already included as a social stress. It does a lot of good to us. Technology has done so much. Social network has done so much for us. Pero it has also another side. Right? And sleep deprivation. These are, according to the American Psychological Association as of 2017. Okay, so the effect of your stress in the body, lahat yan. And always, nasabi ko yung genotype, all of this we can study at the molecular level. Yung tinatawag na oxidative stress, na may measure na namin yun. The oxidative stress is the one responsible for the subtle changes occurring early in your body na hindi nagmamanifest clinically. And disease right now is known to occur many years before. Yung chronic pero yung mga infectious diseases, it starts days before the fever, the symptoms start. For example, dengue, which is my field of interest, starts about 7 to 10 days before you're bitten, and then you just get the fever. And then you have your manifestations already, so many things occurring in your body already na we can detect. Alright? Pero hindi ka naman magpapatingin sa doktor, di ka? Hindi ka magpapa-inject na kuha ng blood, not unless the symptoms appear. So they say right now that the symptoms are quite late. Alright? So, then you have the bacteria, infectious diseases. Yung gumawa nitong yung media na gumawa, your agency, there's no bacteria like this. but what is true with this is a bacteria is either gram-positive, the blue one, or the gram-negative. Alright, so merong reason sa color, but not yung itsura. And then the virus, hindi ko malaman kung anong virus ito. But I think the middle one is the coronavirus. Yung isa mukha yung stress ball na ito mukhang one spaceship. But what it's telling you is that the virus is covered. Kasi the virus is just DNA or RNA na nakatakip. And I will explain to you a little about that later. Ngayon, God is perfect. That He has made the human body perfect. Merong mga nag-i-insult sa atin, we call it insults, merong mga nag-a-attack sa atin to produce the disease, but we do have natural defense mechanisms. And one of them are called the free radicals. Free radicals are nothing but oxygen na very reactive. Pag may pumasok na isang bagay, yung virus o yung bacteria, the free radicals attack them. Pag hindi na kaya, yung immune system natin will attack them. Alright? So, and free radicals are like rubbers, which are deficient in energy. Pagka kailangan nila, they get energy from another source, which is your cell, and produce the disease. But sometimes, the free radicals and your immune system gets overwhelmed. Hindi na kaya. Because of very virulent pathogen, because yung katawan mo mahina, because pangit yung nutrition mo, bumabagsak din yun, kaya nagkakaroon ng sakit. But there is really a defense mechanism in the body. In fact, hindi lang siya first line, may second line, may third line. Imagine, so pagka nagkasakit ka, na-breach mo yung defense mechanisms na yun, there's really something wrong with you. Alright? And these are the free radical generating substances. Fried food, alcohol, tobacco smoke, air pollutants, pesticide. Sabihin nyo, Dr. Ligsay, hindi na ako kakain ng French fries, hindi na ako iinom. Hindi naman masama yun. But they actually produce the free radicals, and the free radicals kill or protect your body. The free radicals can destroy DNA, but DNA can get repaired also. Right? Now, we have the way the food we eat. There are two types na nakikita natin na laman nun, na alam natin. And these are your vitamins and your minerals. Right? Vitamins are organic, okay? Which means they're carbons that are required from dietary sources in small amounts. Hindi natin siya nasisynthesize. So we have to take it from the outside. And your minerals, yung mga small substances like sodium, potassium, calcium, all of these participate in the chemical reaction sa katawan mo so that you can function. So vitamins and minerals are important, and they have their role. No, vitamins are divided into two. You have your water-soluble vitamins and your fat-soluble vitamins. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Yung water-soluble, pagka ininom mo at sumobra ang inom mo, since water siya, lalabas siya sa water, which is your urine. Alright? So, may certain limit din ang certain vitamins yung kaya ng katawan. But again, the body is so beautiful that it has a mechanism to bring it out. Walang vitamin na magkakasakit ka with overtaking. You're taking too much. But, you're wasting kasi ilalabas din. Alright? And then you have your fat-soluble vitamins, which yung excess can be just stored in fat. And then it stays there until you need it. So, dalawa lang siya. It's either water-soluble or fat-soluble. Now, going to vitamin C in particular. Vitamin C is ascorbic acid, the other term. Alright? It is a very powerful antioxidant. Against the free radical. Okay? It's a scavenger for free radicals. And it suppresses the formation of certain cancerous materials, which you take in from the diet, in the GI tract, in the lipoproteins, also as oxidative damages. And it also protects, evidences show that it protects the heart, the cardiovascular system. And you get these from fruits and vegetables, and they are the major dietary sources. The recommended daily allowance of vitamin C depends on age. Okay? However, there are two forms of vitamin C which you take externally. It is your ascorbic acid, which is the acid form, or your sodium ascorbate. They're just the same thing. It's just a matter of ito may sodium, kaya salt siya. Yung isa acid. Alright? So since ito isa may sodium, then your actual milligram content side by side is a little bit lower in the ascorbate type. But what's good with this is that since acid yung isa, merong konting GI irritation if you take it on an empty stomach compared to the ascorbate type na wala. Alright? So sodium ascorbate is used to protect your body's cell from damage, and it is an antioxidant. Okay. Ngayon, when you take in vitamin C, yung load mo ng vitamin C gets saturated at 70 micromoles per liter. And that is translated into an external vitamin C intake of 200 milligrams. Alright? 200. It will produce that level. Yung vitamin C intake, pagka bumaba ng 0.1 gram per day, which is 100 milligrams, biglang babagsak yung body stores mo. Therefore, you lack a certain substance, yung vitamin C, to counteract the free radicals. Right? So, yun yung numbers natin, 200. However, there are evidences showing right now na pag mas mataas doon, lalo na kung deficient ka talaga, you need a little bit higher. There are very few studies showing 5 grams or 10 grams is good. Kasi yun yung itinatapon mo na. But if you really have a very low level of vitamin C, that would be good. So what is the right vitamin C intake for you to saturate your levels? It's about 1 to 2 grams per day. Alright? Yung infections na pumapasok sa katawan natin is a form of oxidative stress. And vitamin C, according to this researcher, may be the most prominent condition when oxidative stress is elevated. Right? And yung reactive oxygen species mo will play a role in killing your bacteria and your virus. Alright? And it's very harmful to the host. Okay? So your vitamin C will be the efficient water-soluble antioxidant which protects the host cell. Okay? Ito yung recommended daily allowance ng growing child and your adult. Mas bata ka, mas baba ang recommended allowance na kailangan mo i-intake. It goes higher as you age. And you look at I think the males is slightly higher, and certain conditions like pregnancy and lactation would require a higher level. Take note that this is the recommended daily allowance for healthy individuals. Assuming healthy, walang form of stress. But as I said, we are surrounded by stress every day. So, all of those na sinabi ko are all mechanistic, di ba? Sabi ko, the cellular level. But mechanistic evidences does not all translate to clinical evidence. So kailangan makita natin ano ba ang epekto sa tao when given. Alright? And I got two kasi ang laki ang daming issue dati regarding vitamin C. Totoo ba yan? Effective ba yan? Even doctors are arguing if it's really effective. Now, this is an article from the Cochrane collaboration. This is a very respected organization. Ang ginagawa nito, they gather studies published in all the journals, put them together, and there is a form of analysis. Kasi nga, as a researcher, it is true when you do a study, magkakalapit yung resulta mo. Hindi pwede isang study ang ganda, isang study pangit, isa duda agad. That's not that's not the truth, because research is really searching for the truth. So, in research we say repeatability is a measure of the truth. At nakakaulit-ulit anywhere you do it in the world. So what this organization does is they enroll certain topics. There are Filipinos in this na naka-enroll dito sa collaboration na to. Ginagawa nila, they gather the study, and as you proceed, as you go along, dumadami yung study, the evidence becomes stronger. Sabi nga, there is strength in numbers. Okay, this review employed about 11,000. Kasi hindi ang mahal gumawa ng study na meron kang 11,000. There's only one study which I've seen na a randomized clinical trial which had 45,000. And this was the study of amlodipine. 45,000 patients, and that is really big. But there were already meta-analysis, yung ginagawa ng collaboration, telling us the benefit of amlodipine. In the ladder of evidence, next to a randomized clinical trial, this one comes next. But it has to be a well-done meta-analysis. Pagka hindi well-done, yung maganda, don't believe it. So, what I'm saying, Cochrane collaboration is credible. So, ang ginawa niya, the study is about vitamin C preventing and treating the common cold. The coronavirus right now, hindi ito ngayon, is a very common cause of the common cold. So, nandito siya. But somehow nag-mutate yung virus. Kaya nagkaiba. So, he wants to settle the issue. Can you treat or can you prevent the common cold? What she found out was that vitamin C supplementation failed to reduce the incidence of common colds in the normal population. Pag wala kang sakit o pag wala kang risk factor, it's not going to work. That's what he saw. I'm talking from the evidence, right? Indicates that routine megadose prophylaxis is not rationally justified for an ordinary healthy individual. But when they did a sub-analysis of about 3,000 participants, ito yata yung mga marathon runners, yung mga British soldiers, o yung mga umakyat sa bundok, they found out that pagka you are exposed for brief periods to physical stress, it seems that it shows clinically significant, statistically significant, that vitamin C supplementation will reduce the incidence of a common cold when you're in a stressful condition, like what we are in right now. Alright? So this is prophylactic. Pero, pag may sakit na yung individual, may sakit na, and then you give it, doon mo palang iinumin, there is no effect. So what this is telling you, if you are at risk, these studies are 200 milligrams and above. If you are at risk, then it seems that it appears, and there's evidence to show, that vitamin C will reduce the incidence of the common cold. Alright? So she went further by looking at whether vitamin C can prevent or treat pneumonia. It's the same, but this time it's pneumonia. Also enrolled in the Cochrane collaboration. So this is quite early. I think she only got 4 studies here. There's only one study which was perfectly randomized, which had a very good quality, but it did not show that vitamin C will prevent pneumonia. Okay. Common cold, yung ubo, sipon, fever, is different from pneumonia. Yung pneumonia, the infection is already in your lungs and it is in the terminal in the alveoli. Yung alveoli, doon tayo humihinga. Yung lumulobong gano'n, paghinga natin. Ando na yung mucus, wala nang air exchange. That's why the symptom of pneumonia, the most prominent symptom of pneumonia is difficulty of breathing. Pag hirap kang huminga, mabilis kang huminga. Kaya nagtitingnan sa bata, as a pediatrician, the first thing you look at is the patient breathing very fast. When the patient is breathing very fast, then this looks like pneumonia. Alright? So it did not show. Pneumonia did not show. Whether prevention or treatment. Alright? So, but he's saying that since there was one study which did show some benefit, then she said, you should not abandon this. So we'll wait for more studies and we'll see if it can be a prophylactic or even a treatment. Alright? But through all of those studies, she's saying that when they measured vitamin C in these patients who are under stress, mababa. It was less than 70 micromoles per liter. So, we don't know it, pero andun siya. You don't measure it regularly. But what we can see are the risk factors affecting us. Alright, so in summary, there's nothing better than having a healthy lifestyle. It's hard. It's hard to remove the stress. It's hard to remove the thought na wala kang trabaho. It's hard to remove the thought na wala kang pera. Pero mas lalo kang mawawalan ng pera at trabaho pagka nagka-pneumonia ka, nagkasakit ka. So, kahit na anong vitamin C, kahit na isang drum, isang dakot na vitamin C inumin mo, kahit na isang herbal antibiotic, kahit na anong i-inject sa'yo, IV, whatever. If the immune system, because your body has to help with treating you. If you have no reserves, then nothing will happen. Right? So live a healthy lifestyle. How? Eat the right food. The food is good today. Exercise regularly. Find time. Ang exercise hindi dumadating ng pusa. You have to find time. And you need to take certain kung kaya. Right? Vitamin C is very important for the body because it is defense. It gets overwhelmed kung kailangan, kung nangyayari. And sodium ascorbate will provide efficacy and no hyperacidity because it is not the acid. I can answer some questions and I can enlighten you if there's a need. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much.